Hello there, my very good friends. On today's Wrestling News, we are going to run through one of the worst WWE match finishes of the year.
Another tag team splits on Monday Night Raw.
We've got the real reason Bianca Belair wasn't included on the Raw roster last night.
And WWE's top merch seller has been revealed. I'm Adam Wilborn.
And I'm Andy Murray.
And this is the news.
Alright, we're going to kick things off by talking about the televised argument that was Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks on last night's episode of Raw. You might look at that on face value and go, hey, that's for the most talented woman in WWE. That'll probably be really good. It was not.
Nope.
Spoiler alert, it was not very good. So, bickering tag team partners, can they get along? How will they coexist? That's a story that WWE love to go to. Actually, they went to it twice on this show, didn't they? With
and
Big
both
E.
times were awful.
Yeah, with Big E and Drew McIntyre in the main event. They just can't help themselves. And then they split up another tag team that's been doing that you're going to talk about. The point is they do this story a lot, but it was particularly poor on Raw. It didn't resonate at all. Played out to, I think it's safe to say, a pretty muted crowd, which is surprising given the people involved. But yeah, man, Charlotte and Becky constantly arguing throughout the match. Sasha and Bianca were bickering before they'd even got in the ring.
Yeah, they initially sort of made it work, those two, and then it just fell to pieces.
And then it fell apart again. They were brawling with each other inside the ring and out. It got to the point where the referees couldn't restrain them. They had to get Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville to come out and go, hey, get it together. This sucks. Like, have a match, you silly sausages. The bell rang when we came back from a break, finally, and they wrestled for what felt like about 2 minutes. And then it all fell apart again. The referee just called for the bell. There was it wasn't even really a non-finish. It just wasn't a finish. Was it? Like, they didn't really, a no contest or anything like that. They didn't go, hey, this is a DQ or a count out or whatever. They just went, nah, I've had enough of this. Which is appropriate, as I'd had enough of it by the time it was over. In the end, Becky Lynch was the one standing tall following the post-match brawl, but nobody really emerged from this looking like a winner. I think a lot of people will try and defend this by going, hey, it's a story. But just because it's a story doesn't mean it's a good one.
Yeah.
And I think this was a complete waste of everyone's time. And when you look at the talent of the people involved, you can quite credibly say that this was the most disappointing match of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. Sure. On a scale of 0 to 10 for this match and overall of Monday Night Raw, I'd give it wank. Because it was just atrocious. Like you say, I understand, and I was almost on board with the whole, these two tag team partners just simply can't coexist, and throughout the show they're cutting promos on not only their opponents, but also their tag team partners and saying that I'm the best one, basically. And they do the whole, I'm going to start the match. No, I'm going to start the match. Bit back and forth thing. And I think, okay, well, we've seen all this before. And then we come back from the break after all that bickering. You think, okay, well, now we're going to get a match. I predicted on our preview, for example, Andy, that Charlotte just drops down and goes, actually, I'm not bothered about all this because, you guys are all fighting it out. See you later. Yeah. She leaves Becky and maybe Sasha Sasha hits her with a backstabber, but it's like a double backstabber because she had that mint double KOD thing on SmackDown, for example. Look, this was an atrocious match. It went nowhere. Nothing happened. Yes, Becky Lynch stood tall, but we've had everyone standing tall for the last 2 or 3 episodes of Raw and SmackDown in this feud. I can't believe they've run out of steam with these people involved, but still. And then, like you say, on the main event, they had another tag team that simply couldn't coexist in Drew McIntyre and Big E. I was hopeful for this. They did the whole Mega Powers thing earlier on in the night. And then again, this match had no finish. Yes, Drew McIntyre stood tall after hitting Big E with a Claymore, but it was just atrocious. They barely gave any time to the Queen's Crown tournament matches.
It's like combined 4 minutes or something?
And I don't want this to become one of my rants, okay?
No, unleash. Go for it. It's a crap show.
You have a bracket, right? Okay. In the men's King of the Ring tournament. Now, I'd suggested before this tournament, wouldn't it be interesting if Rey and Dominic Mysterio got through the first round and maybe had to face each other in a later round? I anticipated more than quarterfinals, semi-finals and finals, to be honest, with the King of the Ring, but hey, Vince hates tournaments. And then you literally have, and you reference it with Kevin Patrick, Kofi and Xavier on the same side of the bracket. If they win both their matches against people they probably should beat, no offense, Ricochet, love you, but it's your birthday, piss off, you're losing. And Jinder pissing Mahal, right? And they've established already in the women's Queen of the Ring, or whatever I'm calling it, tournament, they're fine with having a non-babyface heel dynamic because Zelina Vega and Carmella are facing each other. So it's okay, we can have Kofi and Xavier Woods, and Xavier beats Ricochet, and you think, oh my God, we're going to get it. It's going to be the awkward, fun New Day match. I'm not suggesting they have to split. That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get it. And then Jinder Mahal hits the class because he's helped by two people who, one of them, I don't think is even on his fucking show anymore.
No, he's not. The Veer staying
How
on
do you
Raw.
not do Kofi versus Xavier with the intrigue that provides rather than Jin versus Xavier Woods? I'm sorry, I just had to get that off my chest today. Apologies, Ben.
Oh, look, Raw was bad. It's fair to criticize,
Yes.
I think.
And how on earth did we not see this coming? Because a tag team split on last night's Monday Night Raw that had actually been a tag team for more than 2 minutes. Mansoor, Mustafa Ali, they've been together. There's been the awkward friendship of Mansoor, I'm not so happy. And Mustafa Ali, stop saying so bloody happy.
Relax.
We're trying to win matches. But he's taking him under his wing. Well, Mustafa Ali has had enough now. He snapped last night after they lost to the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin. Mansoor was asked about it backstage because he got shoved over in the ring post-match by Mustafa Ali, and basically Ali called him a giant waste of time.
A big loser.
And Mansoor was like, well, I'm going to have to go away and think about that. And Mustafa Ali was like, I clearly didn't make my point clear enough. Beat the crap out of him, and they are seemingly headed to Crown Jewel. How on earth didn't we see this coming? You and I have sat here and talked about, well, maybe they're going to challenge for the tag titles in Saudi Arabia. No, they need the good old Mansoor's a babyface against a heel who's mint and can carry into a great match, and that's what we're going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't structurally have a massive problem with it. I think the tag team was probably put together in the first place to get to this point. It's to get Mansoor a win in Saudi Arabia, which has been a theme for the past 3 or 4 of those pay-per-views.
Yeah, he's
the Battle Royal,
Cesaro, Dolph.
That's right. So it's a recurring theme on these shows, and it makes sense. Give Saudi Arabia a hometown pop there. It's the only hometown pop they actually do in the year of 2021. It seems WWE. But yeah, here we go. I actually did like the dynamic between these two guys, so I'm a little bit sad it's come to an end already. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like them together.
Yeah, I thought they worked really well. I thought maybe they could have a tag team challenge before they could split, but maybe they've got to get this one out of the way so then they can get to RK Bro splitting in, I don't know, a month's time.
Yeah, exactly. You got to run through these awkward odd couple tag teams. Anyway, WWE last night on Raw, they did a rundown of the new Raw roster after last week's draft, right? Bianca Belair was omitted.
She's only one of the biggest picks in the draft.
Yeah,
it's fine.
She was Raw's second pick in the draft, complete overall. She was the 4th overall pick when you include both brands. And yet they just didn't mention her. They didn't mention her at all. Why did they not do this? Fightful Select coming through with the report stating that it was just a mistake. They buggered it up. Bianca is still going to be on Raw. There's no, you don't need to speculate on anything or whatever. She's still going to be on that brand when the rosters are cemented. It's the 22nd of October, right? That
day after Crown Jewel.
Yeah, that's when they come into play. So, hey, it's just a bit silly. Look, I just think this is funny, and that's why it's on the news.
It's a fascinating thing that they didn't do that they've got, Mia Yim up there. I love her, but she hasn't featured exactly a great deal
TV
on the main
in
roster.
a year, yeah.
They've got Knox, and they've got all them, not one of their biggest gets, and a person who on this show said, I go here now, not according to the graphics department you don't love. Anyway, let's conclude by talking about WWE's biggest merch center. It's been revealed. Have a guess. It's Doudrop. No, it's not. It is, in fact, Roman Reigns, according to WrestlingNews.co's Paul Davis. No great surprise there. WWE management very happy with the Universal Champion at the moment, probably because they're booking him really well. And he's mint, obviously.
Yeah.
He is shifting product online, at merch stores in arenas, all that sort of thing. He's become the all-time top merch seller amongst heels in WWE history. Numbers similar levels to John Cena, who of course never actually turned heel.
Yeah.
Some of these numbers, Andy. WWE pulled in $22.5 million in consumer products revenue for Q2 in 2021, including nearly $10 million from e-commerce and $1.3 million from in-venue merchandise sales. Very happy with those sorts of numbers, WWE.
Yeah, and you'd imagine those overall numbers would go up in Q3 as well, given the fans are back now and everything else. So, yeah, no surprise at all. Everyone who watches WWE loves Roman Reigns. He's in the form of his career. I think this is the best run of his career, and I don't
Without
think...
question.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, is that a controversial statement? Well, no, because they booked him like ass for so long. So, yeah, I mean, he's finally showing what he can do as a top-level guy, and he's shifting merch. So, it's good. Fair play. He seems like a nice guy in real life.
I'm really happy for him,
Yeah.
and I just wish they'd take the blueprint of this and maybe use it with almost anyone else on that roster, because
Yeah.
look what happens when you actually book someone well, protect them, and give them great promos.
Fast forward to him losing to Brock in 2 minutes.
Yeah, he's
next
getting
week
jobbed
then.
out on Thursday.
Getting squashed, baby!
Let's move on to your Twitter questions. At WhatCulture WWE, of course, if you want to get in touch with us. Matthias Geronimo says, hello guys, great day for you. Great day for you too, Matthias. Who should be the first TBS champion? Should they go with Jade or maybe with Thunder Rosa and keep the match against Britt Baker to a later date?
I think there are a lot of very viable options, but the one I like the most is Serena Deeb.
Yeah.
I love the idea of her just having good matches, like every other week or every single week if we want to go down that route. I think she showed, again, against Hikaru Shida in her comeback match from injury, that she is, for me, the best pure wrestler in that division. And I think that implementing that kind of personality on the TBS title would be a good look.
Yeah, I think that's a hell of a shout, to be perfectly honest. And I think Thunder Rosa has to be one of the next pay-per-view challengers for Britt Baker and her title. Ruby Soho is a hell of a shout. I love Jade Cargill. Maybe it's slightly too soon to put a title on her, but she's looked incredibly dominant. She ran through Sky Blue in like 60 seconds on Rampage, so I wouldn't rule her out. But yeah, Ruby Soho, she deserves it without question. But Serena Deeb,
all of these are good
her
options.
versus Serena Deeb would be a hell of a final, for example. Steve Faso gives us our second question of the day, saying, hello there, goats. If you guys could get any wrestler, past or present, to do a reading of a children's book, who would you choose and what book? Steve starts. Adam's best friend Wade Barrett reading Chicka Chicka Boom Boom. I have no idea what that is, but I love it.
Oh man, there's a few options. I think there are a few funny options. Roman Reigns has experience in this regard. Remember little old Roman and his magic beans? What
on earth was all that
what
about?
What was that about? Suffering Succotash as well, of course. I think Tony Schiavone would do a tremendous job because he's the loveliest man at reading a kid's book. But also, Sheamus could be the twat in the hat. So there you go.
Very nice. It's Tuesday, you know that means it's Tony D'Angelo Day. And I'm going to say Tony D'Angelo's going to read the Very Goddamn Hungry Caterpillar.
There you go. There you go.
And then guess what? He turns into a goddamn butterfly. But at the end of the book, it slips you $5 and says, you didn't see nothing. I love this, man.
All right.
Let's move on to the final question. It comes from Eddie Zamhari. He says, hey guys, just seeing The Miz perform in an Aladdin outfit. In case you haven't seen it, it looks like this. Sorry, Ben Boy, that you had to see that. Do you think that The Miz will come back in WWE as a character, as a genie? And will we ever see Chucky be in wrestling and do commentary roasting a wrestling show? He popped up on Raw last night. LTST, baby. Long-term storytelling.
Yeah, Chucky is going to have a match, I think, with Lily on the next pay-per-view.
He's going to do something with Lily, according to that promo he got. Yeah, I assume he wanted to do that with her and not Alexa Bliss, but
I have no idea.
Who knows?
What a show. Miz, of course, has the acclaimed long-term rivalry with Grumpy Cat to resolve. So, Genie Miz versus Grumpy Cat.
I think there's one slight issue with that booking.
What's that?
I think the cat may not be with us anymore.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, owners of
So I think that
Grumpy
means
Cat.
Genie Miz gets the W.
Well, the Miz has wrestled zombies before.
I love Genie Miz. I love the way
The worst thing I've ever said.
I love the way he just fully commits to stuff, to be fair, and that is quite the look on Dancing with the Stars. It almost makes me want to watch. I mean, I won't, but it almost does.
Let's watch it on our lunch break.
No. Right, let's conclude by talking about, of course, Matt Cardona, because I saw this image again. Everything he tweets makes me happy. He tweeted, I don't get it. Why don't the GCW universe like me? I am the white meat babyface, sharing this photo of just everyone in the arena giving the old double middle fingers. What a goddamn guy this guy is.
He's so good at this, leaning into the sports entertainment heel in a deathmatch world character. It's really good. I hope it never ends, and I hope it never stops being good.
Indeed.
But, you know, his little toys are stupid and lame.
Yeah.
You're a grown man. What you do?
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
hentai. He's into.
We do analyse wrestling for a living. Does he?
Manga.
Don't start this again.
What's your favourite cartoon?
No. I'm going to move on and talk about our new thing with Top Rope Brewing Survivor Beeries. We're doing it with them. It's going to be Top Rope versus WhatCulture. 12 beers, 45 quid for these brilliant craft beers, and you get free delivery. Unfortunately, this is, of course, only for our UK viewers. All you need to do is click the link in the description and enter the code "Here's Why" to get free delivery on those beers that will only cost you 45 quid. We've got some in the office. These are delicious craft beers, Andy, from the guys at Top Rope Brewing.
Absolutely tremendous. I like pretty much everything they produce. Especially their darker beers. The American Nightmare in particular is rather delicious.
And order them now. You'll get them well in advance of Survivor Series, or as I should say, Survivor Beeries.
Very good.
Very good. Right, let us know your thoughts on that and all today's news stories in the comments section below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. It's going to be a fun day sitting down with Michael Cedric and dissecting that episode of Monday Night Raw.
Fun's not the word I'd use.
Plus, let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there, follow both of us. You can follow Andy Murray at
Andy H. Murray. The H stands for, hey, what kind of a human being would surround themselves with action figures?
Yeah, especially one you can put the thumb of the bum.
Thumb in the bum's back, baby!
Yeah, back by popular demand. Follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for joining us. And we will see you soon.
In the bum, man.